Hey everyone, this is Tim, and I will be showing you how to make Shopska, a Bulgarian, heart-friendly salad. If you like tomatoes and tangy food, you might find Shopska irresistible. Our ingredients are tomatoes, cucumbers, onions, feta cheese, extra light olive oil, white vinegar, sugar, salt, and water. Tomatoes. The lycopene in tomatoes reduce the risk of prostate cancer. Lycopene is best absorbed with fat. The lycopene is also good for your eyes and fights heart disease. Don't store your tomatoes in the refrigerator. Cucumbers are rich in B vitamins and electrolytes, essential for energy. Onions have been shown to fight infections and cardiovascular disease. Although olive oil is high in fat, it's got the right kind of fat, healthy fats. And olive oil is most healthy at room temperature, how we will be using it. Olive oil also reduces your risk of stroke. Vinegar, in small amounts, is good for your blood sugar. You should have a good knife for cutting the tomatoes, cucumbers, and onions. My favorite knife for this task is a Wusthof bread knife, and I also really like the J.A. Henckels bread knives. The Wusthof cost me about $60 at Wiliams-Sonoma in the mall. My J.A. Henckels cost me about $40 at Wiliams-Sonoma in the mall. Both are well worth the price. Both Wusthof and J.A. Henckels have YouTube videos on how they manufacture their knives. Watching these videos made it easier for me to pay a premium for the knives. Of course, you can also buy these knives on Amazon. I like talking to a representative the first time buying a knife, though, because the representative will make sure it's right for your situations. Get a good peeler for the cucumbers. My favorite peeler is the Farberware ceramic peeler. It really does a far better job than any other peeler I have used. I bought the Farberware ceramic peeler in a set including a ceramic knife for about $10 or $15. The ceramic knife was mostly useless. First, the main ingredients. For 2 servings, you will need 3 on-the-vine tomatoes, half of a large cucumber, and about a fifth of a small onion. Let's start with the tomatoes. We have used several different kinds of tomatoes with success, but my favorite for Shopska is tomatoes on the vine. That is how they are labeled at Kroger's where we shop. These tomatoes are approximately 3 inches wide, relatively small for a tomato and not as big as a beefsteak tomato. Tomatoes on the vine are more tangy and chop nicely into chunks, as opposed to a beefsteak tomato which is relatively bland and will look like soup after you dice it. Cut the tomatoes into 1-inch cube pieces. Cut out the stem portion, making sure to get all the roots out. Then cut the tomato into thirds. Then cut those thirds at 1-inch intervals, and those pieces at 1-inch intervals. It's important to have a good knife here so that your tomato pieces retain form and don't get mushy. The reason I use a bread knife is twofold. 1. The longer blade ensures you can get over the whole tomato every time. 2. The serrated blade, as opposed to a smooth blade, means you can drag this knife through the tomato skin very easily. Now the cucumbers. We have used many different kinds of cucumbers with success, but I like organic large cucumbers the best. Peel the cucumbers. I recommend the Farberware ceramic peeler. It will make peeling a breeze. Now sometimes cucumbers can be bitter, so check that you don't have a bitter cucumber by eating slices from both ends of the cucumber. If you taste bitterness, don't use that cucumber. It will ruin the whole salad. Now slice the cucumbers into discs at about 1-inch intervals. Then slice the cucumber discs into quarter sections. Now the onions. It's hard to go wrong with the onions for Shopska. You can use sweet onions, Vidalia onions, or whatever. The only way to go wrong is by using too many onions. The onions should be sliced into very thin pieces so that the flavor permeates the salad. You should not be crunching down on the onions while eating Shopska. Again, a good bread knife will make cutting the onions into very thin slices a breeze. A bread knife's long serrated blade will mean you can get over the whole onion every time and slice it thinly. Mix the main ingredients, tomatoes, cucumbers, and onions, together. You should already be seeing some of the natural juices of this combination in the mixing bowl. Salt the mixture of tomatoes, cucumbers, and onions. Use perhaps 1/2 tablespoon of salt. Now let's make the salad dressing. The olive oil will be hard to clean, so we mix the dressing in a paper cup and throw it away afterwards. It is very important to use extra light olive oil for the dressing. Using some other kind of olive oil often makes the salad bitter. We use bertolli extra light tasting olive oil. Mix 2 tablespoons extra light olive oil, 1 tablespoon sugar, 1/4 teaspoon white vinegar, and 2 tablespoons water in a cup. Now pour it over the mixture of tomatoes, cucumbers, and onions. Don't overdo the dressing. You can always add more dressing later. The final step is adding the feta cheese. You will need approximately 1/3 container of feta cheese. We use Private Selection crumbled feta cheese. Private Selection is a Kroger brand. Feta cheese chunks can be a bit too big right out of the container, so I chop it up a little more. Add the feta cheese and stir it up. Your Shopska is ready. You should try changing the ingredients to your taste. I find you can make the biggest difference by changing the amount of onions, vinegar, salt, and feta cheese. So that is how to make Shopska. Tell me what you think. Did you like it? Did you use different ingredients or amounts? Write in the comment section. Please thumbs up this video and subscribe to my channel, CBT TJM. Thanks for watching.